Happy Cinco de Mayo. Today we're going to be making chicken fajitas per my husband's request. And we're going to start with making our own fajita seasoning. What you need for it is a tablespoon of paprika, a tablespoon of garlic powder, a tablespoon of onion powder, or granulated, whatever you have. We're gonna do a tablespoon of chili powder. My chili powder is not too spicy, it's just a little bit spicy. We're gonna do a teaspoon of coriander. We're gonna do a teaspoon or half a teaspoon. You can really adjust the seasoning to your liking of black pepper. We're gonna do a teaspoon of cumin or more, it's up to you. I think I got them all. No, I forgot the oregano. And a teaspoon of oregano. All right. You're gonna mix it up. And that's how you make fajita seasoning. If you make a bigger batch, you can just store it in a jar or in a container. And then anytime you make fajitas, you're gonna have the mix already ready. That's what I usually do. I have a big jar of it, and then it's really quick and easy to make fajitas. So I have about 7 pounds of chicken. That's about 3 kilos, I think. I have a big family, so I'm doing a big batch. You don't have to do a big batch like that. Do it as little or as big as you'd like, and just adjust the seasoning to that. So what I'm gonna do first is, I don't cut it into little strips for fajitas. I actually like to cook the whole breast and then cut it up. I think it's juicier. But if you could cook the whole breast like that, it's too thick and it's uneven. It's more shallow here and it's thicker here. So what we're gonna do is place your hand here with your knife, just cut it longwise, cut it in half. So now you have equal thickness. So they will cook faster and more even. So just do it to all of the chicken breasts. All right, now that all of my chicken is cut up, I'm actually gonna put all of the seasoning, because that's enough for this big batch. And I like a lot of flavor in my dish. You're gonna salt it generously, because you don't have any salt in the seasoning. Remember that. And you're gonna put some oil. It will keep the chicken from drying out when you're cooking it. And I am going to juice 2 limes. Yeah, maybe more. They don't look very juicy. If you don't have limes, you can also use lemons, that's fine. You know, we used to live in a different country and it was very hard to find limes. And when we did find them, they were very expensive. So I just cooked with lemons all the time. Whenever I cooked for lime, I cooked with lemons. Okay, I ended up using 2.5. I had a half, so I just used it. 2.5 limes, because 1 lime wasn't very juicy. And now you're just gonna mix it. Clean hands, sanitized. The chicken is all mixed in, and mine is gonna marinate on the counter for about 30 minutes. So I'm not going to put it in the fridge. But if you're gonna marinate it for longer than that, you should put it in the fridge, and then when you're ready to cook it, just bring it to room temperature a bit, because you don't want to cook all of really cold chicken. If you cook cold chicken, it's not going to cook well or through. The outside is going to cook faster than the inside, so you're going to want to bring it to room temperature So I'm just gonna let it marinate. The longer you can marinate it, the better. It's gonna taste better, it's gonna have more flavor. But today I'm gonna marinate mine for 30 minutes on the counter. While the chicken is marinating, I'm gonna go ahead and prep the onions and peppers. This is how I like to slice the onions for the fajitas. So the goal is to have like strips of onions or slices of onions and strips of peppers. Whew, my eyes are watering from the onions. So peppers, you're gonna cut long lines, whoops, like this. And you're just going to do the same thing with all of them. Doesn't this look beautiful? All right, it's all ready. While our chicken is marinating, let's go ahead and make some pico de gallo, which is a type of salsa. So I'm cutting it into little cubes like that. And I'm gonna do that with all of the tomatoes. I have cut up all of my tomatoes, and you just wanna cube them. Little cubes. You can also do this in the food processor, which I usually do it in the food processor. For the purposes of this video, I'm doing it by hand. If you're gonna do it in the food processor, put the jalapeños, garlic, onion, and cilantro first, pulse it first, and then add the tomatoes and pulse for just a little bit, just a couple times to break down the tomatoes. I'm gonna cut up the onion now. I don't like big chunks of onion, so I'm gonna chop it pretty small. Same thing with garlic. You can use the garlic press or just mince it finely. And you can make it as spicy as you'd like. I'm gonna put 2 jalapenos. We like our salsa or pico de gallo spicy. So I'm gonna put 2 jalapenos, and I'm not de-seeding them. But if you don't like really spicy, use 1 jalapeno or half and remove the seeds so it's not as spicy. But same thing, you want to chop it to pretty small chunks. Now we're going to add our cilantro. I'm also going to use 1 lime. And of course, you're going to salt it well. Mix it up. Once your salsa is all mixed in, go ahead and try it for salt, for cilantro, which is coriander, jalapenos, but you should never ever try it with a spoon. You should always try it with a chip. It's good. I know you would like it spicier though.
That's good.
That's good? Thank you. All right, let's make guacamole. All right, I'm gonna show you an easy way to make a guacamole once you have salsa. Because all you have to do is mash the avocados. And we just add some of the salsa there. I used 2 avocados. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and mash them up with a fork. Okay, my avocados are mashed up, and when you have fresh salsa or pico de gallo, this is the easiest way to make guacamole. I love it. I even put a little bit of the juice in here. Salt it. We're gonna juice half a lime. If you roll it first, it's probably gonna give you more juice, is what I heard. And that's how you make easy guacamole. All right, I think our chicken is done marinating. I'm gonna start preheating the skillet. If you have a grill, go ahead and grill it. But if you don't have a grill, you can just do it on a skillet, or maybe like a grilling skillet or a regular skillet. I've done it in a regular skillet for years. So just work with what you have. I have a big cast iron skillet. And that's what I'm gonna cook it in. You will know when it's time to flip the chicken, when it's starting to get white around the edges, like this. It's starting to cook around the edges and you can see it. You can go ahead and flip it. Chicken, go ahead and throw in a really hot skillet the onions and peppers. We are going to salt in just a little bit. Okay, I cooked a portion of the chicken. This is obviously not all of the chicken. And it has rested for about 10 minutes. And then I just cut it into strips and arrange it on the plate. Chicken is not hot. It's warm, but it's not too hot to handle. And the reason you don't want to cut into hot chicken just as you cooked it, because all of the juices are going to run out of it. It's going to be very juicy. The juices are going to run out, and then the chicken is going to be dry in the end. So we want to keep those juices in for a little bit, let them settle, and then, you know, 10 minutes. I mean, if you were patient, 5 minutes, but good 10 minutes, and then it's easy to handle. It's not hot, and it's gonna be juicy. And that's it, guys. We got our chicken fajitas. I hope you can see how delicious this looks. I grilled up the tortillas. We got our peppers and onions, chicken, all the fixins. Enjoy.